Chloe, and today I'm going to be doing a writing vlog, so I hope you enjoy. I'm going to explain what I'm writing and what I'm doing, just so it's not just like, I don't know, I feel like it would be a bit confusing for people who have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm going to like explain it really quick. As of January 30th, so like the very beginning of February, I finished my first ever novel. It was a fantasy novel about fairies and vampires, and it was just super cool, and I really wanted to explore like just different concepts in a fantasy world. I just really felt like creating, so that's what I did. And during that time I put down a draft that I was working on, so that's what I'm going to be working on now. One thing that was like stopping me and limiting me as a writer was that I felt like I had to pick a certain niche, if that makes sense, not tunnel in on a certain genre or finding like a certain aesthetic that I was going to fit into, and that was going to be me as a writer. I would watch like author interviews and like would just look up authors and look up all their books, and I felt that like I had to pick my niche, and that was what I was going to be. I've been drafting and just writing in general and just writing different things. I realized who's going to tell you you can't write a certain genre, or you're going to be labeled a certain way because you write a certain genre. I wrote two very separate books, like as for like genre, and like one was a thriller mystery and one was like a fantasy. Those are on very different spectrums, but I myself enjoy both genres, and I felt like I had to choose one side, and you don't. Like, you really don't. I often felt that I had to be like this super smart person to sit down and write the book that I wanted to write. And you know, I never published a book, but as for beginning to write, you can be anyone. I have this deep admiration for early mornings and late nights. I believe that there's something sacred, a simplicity to existence before the sun meets its peak in the sky. I found that these hours make up for the most intimate moments of my day, and as an introverted person, these quiet, isolated moments are my most productive. As such, these are the times I choose to fully embrace and indulge in creativity. I'm going thrifting with my sister, so that should actually be fun, and I feel like that'd be a little interesting, so you're just not staring at me staring at a screen all day. So I thrifted a turtleneck and a black sweater, secret history core. I got this, and this is Furyborn, like the limited edition advanced reader copy, so it's basically the first copy, like I guess before the book actually came out, so that's super cool. I actually had King's Bane, which is the second one, and I'm super excited to read these because I've actually had them in my Amazon cart for quite a while, so it was super cool. These were $2. And then I got this poetry book. At the store that I went to, there was like a lot of little poetry books, and I like read through a lot of them, and then this one seemed like the most entertaining to me, so I got this one. I'll let you guys know what I think probably on Instagram of these books. That's where I do most of my book reviews, because I'm too lazy to put them in Goodreads. So follow me on Instagram, Chloe L. Sage. We have fantasy right here, and we have poetry. Talk about duality. I believe that music has a very big influence on what I write and how I write. Music kind of invokes emotion, and then writing is a product of emotion. If you can like read and write with music, I definitely recommend doing so. My vibe has really been Mitski, just because her music is very raw, and that's just kind of what this project revolves around, and I'm trying to channel that in this project. So and I wrote down quite a few things that I just wanted to say about writing in general that I didn't really touch on earlier because I kind of left and then I realized I didn't talk about them, so I'll talk about them now. Like a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but like people who do ask me questions about writing, they ask me how I kind of allowed myself to put time aside to begin writing and give all that commitment into writing. And it's really just a question as to why are you doing it? When I first began writing, I couldn't really figure out like what my goal was. I didn't really set a goal, I would just write random things. And then I realized I wanted to write a book. That was a goal that I wanted to do. So I set that goal. I mean, I don't want to say it's as simple as that, but it's really as simple as that. Like I wanted to see an idea like that I had inside my head in my hands. I just wanted that. In the beginning, I just wanted to be like all these other authors and all these other writer influencers, and I never really thought about what I really wanted like deep in my heart. And like eventually that ended up to be like a plethora of ideas and genres and different things. So don't take judgment, because judgment, especially when it comes to literature and everything literary, judgment is very perceptive because everything is different. So something can apply to one thing and not another. Just stay away from judgment or other people's opinions when it comes to doing what you love, because if you go off what other people think, then you're never going to get anything done, as people are always going to have opinions and people are always going to judge you no matter what. So when I was younger, I used to think that like writing, to be a good writer, you had to kind of focus on literary concepts and just all those big ideas that just seem impossible for you as just a person who likes reading and decided to write to do that. I didn't go to college. I'm not even anywhere near college. I never like learned how to properly write. I'm just a girl who felt like writing. So if you're waiting to like I get why you would wait to get a degree in writing. Like that would definitely improve your writing skill. I'm not saying that it wouldn't, but if that's what you're waiting for, don't, because a lot of good writers actually have never stepped foot inside of college, and they've actually done pretty well with just their minds. I mean, I do believe that it can improve your writing skills and format and a lot of things, but the ideas and the creativity that it takes to write comes naturally. So my message to you is to read what you love, write what you love. Just do what you love. Be gonna look back and think, I wish I would have done this, rather than just actually doing it. So I don't know if this is a mutual thing for other people who write fantasy and stuff like that, that it's somehow childish. I mean, I was always a dreamer. I think I've always been a dreamer. I think I always will be a dreamer. I don't think that part of you goes away. So instead of trying to change it or trying to mature, or just kind of embrace it. And I feel like it's a very beautiful thing, even as you get older, to embrace that part of you. Are dreamers not the most beautiful storytellers of them all? Like since the beginning of time, those tell stories around the campfire. Where did they get those stories from? Like nobody told them those stories but themselves. They dreamt about them, they thought about them, their imagination. So embrace that imagination. You will get nowhere if you compare yourself. It would just stop you and it would just hold you back, and it will take 1,000 times longer if you compare yourself, and you look back and think, wow, if I didn't stop and do that, I would literally have reached my goal by now. Just I know it's really hard, and at the end of the day you're still going to do it. I still do it every day. I do it. Like I literally talk about doing it all the time, but no sentence is the same from two different minds. Like that doesn't even make sense. Thoughts and thought processes are just like a confirmation of your past and your present, and nobody's past or present are the same. If you understand what I'm saying, no one's past and present is the same. No one has ever had the same experiences ever. No one could ever mirror a certain experience as another person. They can maybe relate to it, but it's never exactly the same. So I feel like to that point you have to understand that just like those things aren't the same, the product of those things, because writing is a product of your thoughts and your past and your present and your feelings, and you can never exactly mirror that. So trying to mirror someone's writing is just like trying to mirror what makes them them. You can't do that. So if your goal is to make something perfect, don't, like, if that makes sense, don't. It will never be perfect in your own eyes, because we always want ourselves to do better. Like subconsciously, we always want ourselves we think we could do better. We set these impossible standards. A writer, if you ask them, when they look down at their finished product, at their published book, do they think it was absolutely perfect? Every inch of it was absolutely perfect. I mean, I'm 99.9% sure they'll say no. they think I could have done this better. I felt like this could have been better. I felt like this chapter was a little bit off. Like, no one ever thinks that their own work is perfect. I mean, that's just being human. That's just the human mind. Yeah, so that was my little rant, or whatever you call it. I just felt like talking and thought that I should get that out there. And also, I'm not an expert. I am literally just some girl who likes writing, so my advice is literally just what I thought up. I mean, it's not proven by anything. It's just what I personally think, and I think it would help people a little bit. So yeah. I think I'm done for the night. I'm kind of tired and I want to read the new books I got, and I don't really feel like I can produce any more good writing, so I'm just gonna stop. Be inspired later, maybe later tonight, and write some more. But I've written like 1,200 words, which is pretty good given that I haven't written a single word in weeks, maybe even a month or two. So I thought that doing this vlog would like kind of help me, and it did, so I'm super excited. Yeah, so I don't really know what else to say.